What clouds are in your sky that you're paying more attention to the cloud than you are to your relationship with God and your relationship with yourself? Do not identify with the cloud, because the clouds are always going to bring rain. But what you sow needs that rain so you can reap your harvest. And I'll tell you why. Today's word comes from Ecclesiastes 11, verse 3 and 4. If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves onto the earth. And if a tree falls towards the south or towards the north, in the place where the tree fell, there it shall be. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. If you don't know, right now my family is experiencing a huge cloud. But it was my job to not become that cloud. It was my job to trust God and sow into that cloud and use my obedience of what the Lord told me to do last night and make that a place for sowing. Making that a place for my faith endurance to grow, for my trust in God to stay and remain the same. You cannot regard the clouds or the wind, because if you're only observing the wind, you are not taking that time to sow. And I don't know if you know anything about crops, but wind carries the seeds that you sow to get them where they need to be planted and rooted. So where are you planting your seeds? How can you reap a harvest if you are only watching life go by and complaining and becoming the clouds? You can't become the cloud. If I became the cloud with everything that's going on in my family, if I became that cloud in my sky, I would have already applied back to my old job. I wouldn't be teaching this lesson. I wouldn't be following the path that God had for me. And if I was only observing the wind and allowing that wind to make my emotion, my tree would have fallen, because I would have fallen in sadness. I would have fallen in doubt. I would have fallen completely. But I chose to stand. I chose to stand in my trust. I chose to stand in my obedience. I chose to stand in my joy. And I chose to stand on the path and the purpose that God has for me. So what clouds are you identifying with? Are you identifying with depression? Are you identifying with sadness? Are you identifying with doubt? Why are you not giving all of those to God so He can give you direction, so He can tell you where to sow, so you can reap your harvest?